perfect energy but ain't respected. All these old habits no longer effective.
So I titled the song Preface because I saw this as the beginning to a story, and it's commonly known in most books that the author puts either author notes, preface, some kind of like kind words to a special person to them. So here we go. To all my friends, to all my foes. Just live your life and do the most. You will never know when you'll be a ghost. I just wanted it to paint a picture of where I was. I wanted it to feel very lonely. I wanted it to feel like I was in the void and there was kind of no sight to be seen and no other person to be seen. I want this to hint that there's something final about overthinking this time. Realize that the God I need ain't up above. I fell in and out of love. I've hit when push came to shove. I try not to give a fuck, and that is just so hard. When you give a fuck, God is a much more broader concept to me. I do believe in a single God. There is a God that is above all of the universe. I just don't think anybody knows what it is or what it looks like. Whatever God is, it's within you rather than something that you gotta look up to. I'm by myself and I don't even feel safe. Dealing with the lies that I tell to my face. This little voice is trying to say that there's no space. The only other room I've got is this blank page. I don't know if anybody has heard of an inner dialogue, because I think it's hilarious because there's actually a ton of people in the world that don't have one. And how? I just don't know how you don't talk to yourself. I think the thing that made sense for me to deal with my inner dialogue was to always write it out. That's essentially what any song I make is, really. Crazy to believe that I control fate. This mind is racing and it's racing at a mad pace. I can't answer the phone, I know I'm not straight. I'll be running from the truth, I guess I'm that fake. I think everybody lies to themselves. I think it's okay to lie to yourself. It's okay to lie to yourself as long as it's not delusional. No one really wants to do half of the things that they're doing to get by, but we have to. We have to lie to ourselves in order to trade that in for some of our own peace of mind. But I've been working on myself, had the guts to say I finally need some help, and everything I share with you is heartfelt. If it falls on deaf ears, oh well. A truth is that no one is ever really gonna understand what it is that I go through the way that I do. And so I have to be the one who's solely responsible for my experience. And a part of being an artist is that maybe what it is that I'm gonna say is gonna fall on deaf ears, and a lot of things that I'm gonna say is gonna make someone feel a type of way. Maybe they're not gonna like what it is that I have to say. Maybe they just won't even care. It's not necessarily attributed to malice. It's just most people are too caught up with what it is that they've got on their plate. But still, I made you feel neglected. Having all of this time, but ain't invested. Had the perfect energy, but ain't respected. All these old habits no longer effective. But the fear that I have of being neglectful to things that I love, and I've been unfortunately very guilty of doing that to a lot of things and a lot of people. And I hope you never judge me, even though you'll probably never hug me, because I don't even trust me. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm my own worst enemy, and sometimes decisions that you make aren't the decisions that the best version of yourself would have made. Who it is that I'm specifically talking to when I say, I hope you never judge me, God or whatever God is inside of me. A lot of the people that I've loved, that's pretty important too. The people who I love, I hope they don't judge me. They don't ever have to agree with what it is that I do, but I just hope they never judge me. But now it's time for redemption. Fuck all the stressings, count all my blessings. Life is a bitch. She'll have you tested. You know, I think when you finally establish some trust with yourself, there needs to be a level of getting over yourself that needs to start to happen. Well, no one's perfect. Everyone's got some shit about them that stinks really badly. And it's everyone's personal responsibility to take care of that. The road to redemption is a complicated one. And the idea of starting it is good and applying it is going to be totally different. So I hope that this is good enough. The last thing I'll ever do is give this up. The last thing I'll ever do is give this up. The promise that I want to make to all my friends and to all my foes is that the last thing that I will ever do is give this up. The idea of expressing myself, the idea of being an artist. It is something that has been, for better or for worse, engraved in my DNA, and I can't do nothing about it except create. When people listen to Preface, the two things I want them to take away from is this. One, I want it to just be an informal introduction to myself, and I want you to know that it's okay that you're feeling this too, and that you're not dealing with this by yourself. This song wasn't hard to write, it was hard to not write. I wrote this entire verse within really a matter of minutes. It all came out as like a stream of consciousness, and I had to finish it at the end. There really wasn't a change to the lyrics, there really wasn't something that was completely gutted or replaced with. It's very much exactly a true extension of myself from beginning to end.
But now it's time for redemption.